Okay, in lesson 20, we're going to do a review of a bunch of problems. So it says the first 3D feature will be The Dream is Alive and launches viewers into space on the space shuttle. The school district wants the new IMAX 3D Education Center to hold more students so several classrooms can watch this movie at one time. Your current planetarium has only 75 seats, but your math teachers feel that's not enough. If you increase the number of seats by 80%, how many seats will be in the new planetarium? So right away, I'm going to notice my ratio value, and that's going to be my 80%. So I'm going to immediately go ahead and write that as 80 over 100, because that's what percent means, is out of 100. And I do not go on until I label. So I can see what the problem's talking about. It's saying I need to increase the seats by 80%. So increase means I'm going to make it, that's how much I'm going to make it go up. So I'm going to do an arrow up there. So over here is going to be how much the seats need to increase. The only other number that's given is the current planetarium. So like current meaning like the original. So the original planetarium right now is 75. So that's going to go on the bottom. I now have three numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply across. So I'm going to take 80 times 75 and divide by 100. And I get 60. But I'm going to read the question to see if I'm answering it. So what I just figured out was it increases, there's my label, by 60. The question says, how many seats will the new planetarium have? Not how much did it increase. This is how many seats it needs to increase. 75 is the starting amount. So if you start with 75 seats, then make it go up 60, you would have to add them together to get your total of 135 new seats. Okay, in this question, at the top, it lists the IMAX Theater's technical specifications. And basically, there's a chart that tells you how much you need of everything. And it says in IMAX theaters, the loudspeakers and lighting systems are very important. The current planetarium at your school does not have nearly enough lights or loudspeakers for the true IMAX experience. So currently, the planetarium has only 30 lights and 8 loudspeakers. Use the information from the table above to find the percent of increase in lights and loudspeakers needed for the theater. First, they want us to find the percent increase in lights. So I'm going to go up to the chart, and right here it says we should have 36 lights. And then I'm going to look at the problem, and right now the problem says we only have 30. So the question says find the percent increase. So immediately I know I don't know the percent, so that's going to start us off as x over 100, because when you don't know the percent, you don't know the number over 100. I do not go on until I label. I'm looking for percent increase, so that means how much it goes up. So the label over here is how much it needs to go up. Remember, when you do percent increase, the bottom number is always your original amount. Right now, the planetarium has 30 lights, so that goes on the bottom. Now we got to be really careful. We do not want to put 36 in the top blank, because if we read the label, that would say I need to make 36 more lights. I don't need 36 more lights, I need 36 total lights. If I already have 30, mathematically you should be able to just do that in your head. You should have to increase it by 6 to make it a total of 36. I now have my three numbers, so you can go ahead and you can multiply across and divide. So you multiply just 100 times 6 and then divide by 30, and you will get 20. So your answer, the percent increase, is a 20% increase. We're going to do the same thing, except we're just going to have loudspeakers. So I need x over 100 again, and I need to find the increase in loudspeakers. So I want to find out a percent it goes up. So over here is going to be the amount it goes up. The bottom number is the original loudspeakers, and right now we have 8 loudspeakers, so that goes on the bottom. I'm going to look up here at the chart. It says I should have 14. I'm not going to throw that 14 up top because I don't need to increase it by 14. I need a total of 14. So if we have 8 and we need a total of 14, That's an increase of 6. So we go ahead, we have our three numbers. You can take 6 times 100 and then divide by 8, and you get 75. So you're going to need a 75% increase in loudspeakers. In this question, it says, upon reading your proposal about the need for more lights and loudspeakers, the district is very concerned about how much this will cost. Your principal thinks you're doing a great job and wants you to help out. So he works out a deal with the chairman of the board of the power company, XL, whose son goes to your school. Your school is offered a discount of 6% on all power bills. Your team believes the average power bill for 1 month will be $220. With the 6% discount, what will be the discounted bill? So right away I notice my percent, that's my ratio value. So I'm going to go ahead and start with writing that as 6 over 100. And I'm going to label it. It says it's a 6% discount. So I'm going to go ahead and label that discount. So over here is going to be the discount. And it says the average bill is already $220. So that would be your original cost. Your original cost always goes on the bottom. Once I multiply across and divide, so I have my three numbers, I'm going to take 220 times 6 and divide by 100, and I get 13.20 or $13.20. But I got to see if that's the answer or if I have to do something else. It says, what will be the discounted bill? This is just how much the discount is. So if your regular bill is $220 and you get $13.20 off of that, your discounted bill will be $206.80. All we're going to have to do is subtract those. And the next question is, the school district thinks XL could give a bigger discount. In fact, they have a monthly amount in mind that fits within their budget for power costs. They trust your team's estimate of $220 per month for power, but they want this bill reduced to $187 per month to fit with their budget. To get the power bill reduced from $220 to $187 per month, how much of a discount will the principal need to ask from XL? So instead of them saying they'll give a 6% discount, they're going to ask for a specific percent discount. And that's what we have to figure out what that's going to be. So again, I don't know the percent, so that's going to be X over 100. And they want to know the percent discount. So over here is to be the discounted amount. And again, the bottom number is your original. So your original amount of your bill was $220. That was your base price. And we have to figure out how much of a discount they need. $187 isn't the discount, it's what the new bill has to be. So if you started and your original bill is $220 and you want it to go to $187, you're just going to subtract these two numbers to figure out how much you need to make that go down. And when you subtract those, it means you're going to have to need a $33 discount. I now have my three numbers. 33 times 100 divided by 220 gives you a 15. That number right here is 15, and we're looking for the percent discount, so it's a 15% discount rather than a 6% discount. Finally, word is spread that your school is building an IMAX planetarium, and several schools have contacted your principal to schedule viewings. Your team believes that this may be a way that they can raise money for charity. So you propose that the schools show movies like Sharks 3D, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Cosmic Collisions and give a percent of the income to charity. Your team decides you could charge a group price of $160 to other local schools to come to the new IMAX theater to watch a movie. Your school could then give 40% of this amount to charity and then 25% of the remaining amount to the recording studio project. Your principal has counted 10 school groups who have expressed an interest in coming to see a show. If all 10 school comes and each pays $160, your school will have total proceeds of $1,600. How much will be left for the school if first you give 40% of the admission proceeds, which is $1,600, to charity, and then you give 25% of the remaining amount to the recording project? So first what we're going to do is we are going to find out the remaining amount after 40% is given to charity. So I see that it's 40%, So immediately that's going to be 40 over 100. And what I'm going to do is give 40% to charity. So I'm going to label the top charity. And the original amount always goes on the bottom. So what you're going to take in is the 1,600. So that goes on the bottom. You can go ahead and multiply across and divide. So you're going to multiply 40 times 1,600, divide by 100, and you get $640 as your answer there. So that's, you're going to give 640 to charity. That's what your label says. But we are looking for the remaining amount, like how much is left over. So if you took in 1,600, take off the 640 that you're going to give to charity, you would have $960 left. And the last question is to find out the remaining amount after 25% is given to the recording studio. So now they're going to give 25% of whatever's left. So that 25 is going to be 25 over 100. And you're going to give 25% to the recording studio. So I'm just going to put RS. So over here is the recording studio's amount. You're going to take 25% of what's left. The leftover is 960. So that's going to go on the bottom. You're going to multiply across and divide. So 25 times 960, divide by 100. You're going to give the recording studio $240. But the question is, what is left again? So you started with your 960. You gave 240 away. Once you subtract them, you're going to find out that you have $720 left.